Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first ever free-to-play Void run. Now, forgive me if the editing is a bit choppy. This was my first time doing this. Now, the formation that I used for almost all of my time stages was a variation of mechs, rocketeers, and somebody loaned me 2 sets of cavalry, which really helped out. This first level, the goal was to beat it without using any mana, which took a few tries actually. I had to figure out where to place those arrows. I kept being about a second off. And also, when you're summoning your skeleton, make sure he's hitting the units at your characters. Because sometimes when I was summoning him, he was hitting them away from my units. And there was the first level. Now the second level, this one was pretty easy. Also, I just want to say my hat's off to people who edit videos all day. This took me... It seems like this took me way too long. So for most of these 2 hero levels, I used Avalon and Grimm's. And it was either 3 sets of mechs. And I believe it was 2 sets of Rocketeers. Come on, gameplay, hurry up! Alright, so yes, it was 3 sets of mechs and 2 sets of Rocketeers. And just wanted the burst from Grimm's and the burst from Avalon, so we could preserve that mana. Once you play free-to-play on a Void, it'll really make you appreciate just how good Jack is. So many of these levels, I knew if I had Jack, it would be a breeze. Now we do check all of the rewards, but it's at the end of the run, so I will put a timestamp for that. Level 3 took 2 tries. I was a couple seconds off on the first run. The formation was the same. We had the 2 cavalry in the back. At this point, the goal was still to finish without using any mana. I'm not sure why I didn't summon Skeleton on that run. I might have just choked. Got lucky though. So for stage 4, it took 2 tries, and the issue I was having was my Rocketeers on the far right side were getting injured. Not to mention we had to get Grimm's back, so he would attack a little bit later, do a little bit more damage when they were bunched up. And the goal at this point was still not to use any mana. So stage 5 is when I started running into a lot of trouble. And when I say a lot of trouble, I mean a lot of 1 second trouble. Finishing this level in 21 seconds over and over again. It took 9 tries to get it right. Kept trying to do the Soul Scourge on the right hand side. That was where I was having the most trouble clearing up units. Usually there'd be like 1 or 2 down there that would survive. And we just barely made it. I thought that one was going to take me all day for a little while. So for Void Stage 6, the formation was very similar to Void Stage 2. I had to place Grimm's closer to the middle of the formation because he perished on the first attempt. Luckily, Avalon's arrows were able to get rid of those horses, or there would have had to have been a 3rd attempt. And I think at this point I was already 25 minutes in on this board here. So glad that turned out the way it did. For the next stage, I wasn't able to even get close to the 18 seconds. May have to get a little bit more burst. But this was the closest I got. I ended up completing this on another run and not using as much mana. I think with a level of Blizzard and a little bit of crafting, maybe in 2 days, I'll be able to get this one down. I may have to wait for level 4 units though. Yeah, aside from that, 21 seconds, I think other runs were about 23 to 25. So I kind of gave up on that one for now. So for stage 8, we had to switch it up a little bit. Both Avalon and Grimm's were running very low on energy. So we had to put in the B team. Stage 8 did take 2 tries. This is the second try. On the first try, I made the mistake of putting Vega out too far, and yeah, she ended up getting owned. And I really didn't want to use any of Avril's mana, but it was starting to get to a point to where I had to. And at this point, I had decided that Jack was going to be the first hero chest that I was going to work on. Originally I had thought Gafgar, but these 2 heroes or less, I'm gonna need Jack on the team. Now for level 9, this level 9 took 5 tries. It was, yeah. So 4 of the fails on the stage, they were without cavalry. I'm not sure if I would have been able to complete the stage in time without them, but hey, that's why we get to take 3 sets, right? We get to try some variations. And luckily, because I had that set of cavalry, I was finally able to complete it. And this was the last time we could use Soulless Scourge. The units on the left-hand side were always the ones costing me the last few seconds. So I kept trying to get that Soulless Scourge just right over there. And that last second arrows is what saved the day. Just barely. Thank you, whoever loaned me the cavalry. I honestly don't remember who did, but thank you so much. They actually played a big part later as well. This was the third time on stage 10. It would have been much easier if we had the mana to do Soulless Scourge again. Over on the left-hand side. Kept losing. I would keep injuring one or two Rocketeers. Surprisingly, the never lost a mech on this one. But yeah, one or two Rocketeers kept getting injured. I know when I first threw out this mana barrier, I felt like I had made a mistake, like I should have went Blizzard first. This was one of those moments where I thought for sure I had failed, but I didn't see an X on the casualties yet, so it's just one of those moments where, you know, you have your fingers crossed. I mean, my Avalon's arrows couldn't even reach anything, so I just felt kind of helpless, but at the same time, you know, there wasn't an X up there, so I figured, hey, maybe it'll work. And normally, when I get that feeling, it's almost a guaranteed fail. But luckily, this was not one of those times. So, that was awesome. And here's Rufio. For those of you who don't know, the hero that you don't pick at the beginning of the game will be your first Void hero for 300 of the currency. Wasn't able to get him this time, but should be able to on the second run, I'm hoping. Now on this run, we were all out of mana. And it really was the cavalry that was the MVP of this one. Once again, if I didn't have the cavalry on this run, I don't think 11 would have been done on perfect. Of course, we would have beaten the level, but it would have not have been perfect. So if it's your first Void run and you're using Dwarf, it might be a good idea to bring some cavalry with you, you know? Just request from one of your fellow human players. Because that was the second time that they saved the day. Now, level 12, it was just desperation. All out of mana. So, it was just another fingers crossed moment. And on top of that, both Grims and Avalon were out of energy, so we had to bring in the B team again. No mana for Soulless Scourge. Yeah, it wasn't looking very good at all. And believe it or not, this was a first try. Got very lucky on this one. I mean, once I saw that morale boost on their side, I thought, okay, definitely over. Not to mention, time was also a factor. I mean, at this point, yeah, it looked like that there was a chance we could win, but we could still run out of time. And with that Vega about to go down, I thought they were about to get another morale boost. But luckily she didn't get dropped. And that was it for level 12. Now there was no way, with what we had left, that we could possibly beat level 13. Right? Fingers were crossed real hard for this one. And one thing's for sure, without that cavalry, we would not even have had a chance. I mean, look at all those units. Yeah, without the cavalry, we would have just had a couple sets of bronze mechs to take their spot. And there was no chance whatsoever to beat this perfect. So this was one and done. If I won this, I was going to just hold on to it. If I lost, I was probably going to just give up for the day. And there you have it. Safe to say that is a W. Thank you so much to whoever let me borrow the cavalry. I'm sorry I don't remember your name. It was real quick. I would throw you a shout out. It saved me 3 times on this run. Also want to throw out a quick shout out to a Mega Knight. He couldn't make it on this server. I really wish you could, buddy. I hope your phone gets fixed. I'm not sure if I am gonna do another server after this one, but if I do, I hope you can get in on it. Alright, well I need to run out the door. I gotta go to work immediately. The rest of the video is gonna show all the loot for what we got on the void stages. And I think I take a look at the ranks at the end. I thank you all for watching. I'm sorry I can't finish commentary, but I gotta go real quick. I'm about to click the upload button, and hopefully this uploads right now, so I don't have to upload it when I get home in like 10 or 12 hours. Y'all have a great day!